Karen Show. The Karen Show. The Karen Show. Let's go. Let's go. The Karen Show.
Hello, everybody. We're here. Well, Enzo's here. I'm here. I have invited Taylor Hamby to come along if she has time. She has the link. She knows where to find us. So, yeah, I've been slack as, haven't I? Haven't been around for, nearly 2 weeks. Enzo's really cranky with me. Not really, but yeah. But I've just been floundering, to be quite honest, guys. Absolutely floundering, because hi, Tanya. Tanya will understand where I'm coming from. I've just been floundering and trying to work out what direction to take my channel. Every time I get started on making content, I've got so many videos that I've started making and processing, and I go, you know what? I'm bored. No, I don't want to fit, and I push it to the side, and then I contemplate, and I think, I don't know what I've lost the passion, not for YouTube, just for what to, I'm gonna try to stop floundering, Tanya. So what I'm just this week I'm going to focus. I'm going to follow my instincts, stick to the history, because that's what I love. I love the history, but maybe just stick to the history. If there's something ghosty associated with anything historically that I'm looking at, I'll mention it. But I'm not, my views on the paranormal, as I've said before, have changed greatly. So I'm not, Enzo understands. I've got a feeling we shouldn't be messing with that stuff. Isn't that weird? All these years of me following ghosts and all this sort of thing and finding it interesting. Now I'm thinking, I don't know.
That you had a feeling we should not be messing with that stuff? Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's kind of like, well, you know how mad the world is at the moment. Like, it's really mental. So many crazy people, right? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just almost unexplainable. And to be honest, a lot of people and Tanya will probably understand where I'm coming from, a lot of people that I watch or used to watch in the paranormal field, always drama. Every bloody channel. Every channel, there's always a drama. This one said that one said this. Bad luck comes their way. All this stuff, right? Something dramatic's always happening and upsetting them, and it's kind of like, I wonder why. And then, as I say, when I had that strange experience when I was in England, it's almost like, no, I don't think that what people are messing with. And you know me, I always said demons are bullshit. No such thing as a demon. Do you know what I mean? And I used to say that, but even my views on that have changed. It's kind of like, I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like evil. Good. It's good and evil. It's like evil has taken over.
I feel like angels and demons and or fairies and sprites, all of these titles, these names, these labels are all kind of addressing the same thing. It's not necessarily, that you crack open the Bible and it's like, oh, yep, that's a demon. It's just like regular people. If you walk into a crowd of people, there's going to be good people, there's going to be bad people, there's going to be people that just don't care. I feel like dealing with the unknown like this, it's kind of the same thing. There are going to be entities out there that would certainly just mess with you, just to do it. There may be some that would be friendly. There will certainly be some that will try and intimidate you, just like regular people. Walking down the street of any big city where you run into a whole lot of different people, it's going to be the same thing. And you just kind of have to use your best judgment of who to trust, who not to trust, who to give a wide berth, who you can walk straight up to and chat, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that may, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but that's just instinct. You know, you meet somebody in the street and they can give off good vibes. They can give it. There's always that one person that you think, oh, I don't know what it is. I don't like them, but that's just
Right.
normal. We're not expected to like each other all the time. Like different folks. What's that old TV show? Different Strokes. Different strokes with different folks. But more so on the paranormal side. I just feel with everything that's happening in the world at the moment and the horrible things that people say and do, and it's not normal. It's like it got worse. It's not normal.
It does
It's
seem like the
not.
last dozen or so years, there's something going on that's making people just really go and act crazy and just kind
Yep.
of done. Where
And
you can even see that like in our entertainment and programming and things like that, where it's like, you know, there hasn't been a good movie out in a dozen years. You get these few like minor shows that kind of pop up and they're like, oh, well, that's kind of good. But is it really that good, or in comparison to other things, is it just kind of average? And it just seems like it's fantastically good because we had so much crap come out.
maybe. I don't know, but I just know that after I got back from England, and it's been a while since I've been back, but that I can put it down to the day, maybe not so much the time because I can't remember what the time was, but certainly where I was and why and what happened, and it was just like an epiphany. It was, and I've told this story before, and Tanya's probably heard it before, but when I was at the Ancient Ram Inn, because up until then, while I was in England, I was pretty keen. I'm like, oh, can't wait to see a ghost. I'm in England, like all these really old places I went to and everything. Nothing happened in any of them, and I was very disappointed. And then I finally got to the Ancient Ram Inn thinking, well, everybody says this place, you know, is extreme. Nothing really. And then yeah, just sitting there with my friend and talking out loud to the spirits, you know, whatever, and asking all these questions about, but when you die, did your family come and get you? Like, I need to know if your family came and got you. Did someone that you love come to get you? And then I mentioned Stephen and so on and so forth. And then just mental. It was just kind of like I can't even explain the feeling really. It was just kind of like something came over me and it was automatic, boom, in the moment, straight up. I shouldn't be asking these questions. And it was almost too like, again, one's implying that there was something there, but the minute this feeling came over me, it was like instant, just stop. Like, just stop. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm not supposed to know any of this. We're not allowed to know. It's not that I'm not supposed to know, it's we're not allowed to know. That's how I felt. Like, we're not allowed to know the answer to this. And anyone we're talking to now isn't who we think they are. And it was kind of like, if there is hauntings, it's not a ghost. It's something else screwing around with you. And you shouldn't be.
I've been of that opinion for a long time.
Yeah.
Even watching like all the ghost shows and, you know, people with that have collected evidence where you see something, you know, strange shadows and things moving and recordings, you know, EVPs and stuff like that. None of that has kind of made me lean towards this is a dead person's soul hanging out still.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I still am. In regard to Tanya saying there that she wants there to be an afterlife, but she doesn't think there is. I do think there is, but what that is, I don't know. I just think there is, and I only base that on the fact that, again, I'm probably repeating myself, but then when Stephen passed away, just for that short amount of time, something weird was happening. And even the night that he died, and I didn't know he died, but the moment he died, that weird thing happened to me. I think maybe our spirits have a moment in time, I don't know how long, a moment in time where once your soul goes, once whatever we are leaves, we maybe have that moment, that tether still to hear before we get right over there. But then once we're right over there, wherever there is, that's it. Boom. That's all I can think. But what's Tanya saying? I think with you and me, Karen, we want to think our son and mum have gone to a better place. But I just think once you pass on, that's it. No afterlife, no hanging around. Maybe. Debbie Downer.
I got it somewhere here. Hang on.
Yeah, this is for you, Tanya. Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I mean. We're not going to know, and I really don't think we're allowed to know. It's something we're not allowed to know. And I just feel with everything, and there's days where I kind of think, you know what, bloody hell, I don't think I want to be here anymore. Like, bring it on, for God's sakes. I've had enough. All these people are mental. Like, you know, but then nice things happen, and I'm reminded that there are good people in the world. Do you know what I mean? There are. Like, Tanya's a good person. Yeah. Tanya, and whoever else is lurking in the background, they're good people too. So I don't know, but it's just crazy. And I just, I did sign up to, hi, Julie. I did sign up to do, you know how Charlie Kirk had the, what was it? I can't remember the name of the app now. 365 days or something. It's like a Bible study app. So you apparently learn what's in the Bible in a year, but every day you do something. I haven't started it yet because I thought, it's probably going to be really boring. I'd much rather have someone who really knows the Bible back to front and get them to tell me little stories. And I do get that. There's a few YouTubers that will talk about different parts in the Bible and different interesting things about when Jesus was alive. And then I'm thinking, I know Jesus was real, but I'd still really like to know more. You know, I don't know. I get it all, but it's interesting. And I just sort of think, well, we'll see. They keep saying he's coming back. Well, I think he's well overdue. If he is coming back, he's overdue.
And there's always someone every generation. It's like, this is the signs. He's going to be coming back anytime now, any second.
Any second now, he'll come back. And I'm like, But then, you know, then other things happen and I think, I think I'm going insane. Like, I was really worried about finances because I thought, oh, my gosh, I'm not getting work as easy as I thought I would. And I thought, and I was sitting outside watching all the birds in my backyard and I thought, okay, I'll try. And I said, well, okay. I said, whoever I'm supposed to pray to, be it God, Jesus or whatever, help me out. Like, I don't know what to do. Just help me out a little bit, you know. I know this is weird, but within a couple of days, all of a sudden, I got a refund that I didn't even know I was owed. I had to order some special food for my daughter, Gabby. And when I ordered it, you pay for it, you know, and it gets delivered. Not food, like a special meal replacement, you know, Ensure. I think you have it in America. And anyway, ordered it, whatever. And a couple of days after, I said, help me out. I'm just short. I just don't know what to do. I got an email from them saying, you've got $288 credit. We're refunding it to you now. And I'm like, I do? I'm usually pretty good with my money. I'm thinking, what? Like, did I pay for something, not get it? And like, I'm confused. But anyway, $288 came my way and I wasn't expecting it. And it was just enough to do what I needed to do. And I went, So I'm not someone who's supposed to win the lotto, but, you know, we'll see.
Right.
Oh, Tanya, love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I believe in something for sure, and I don't know. I'm just learning. I don't know. I still, they say things like, oh, if you really truthfully, you have to believe in Jesus and give him this and that and the other thing. And bless Charlie Kirk. I've been watching a lot of his things where he talks about it. Oh, he was keen. And I'm like, oh, Charlie, I don't know. But, you know, and then look what happened to Charlie. Like, I'm thinking, of all people to get knocked on the head, not him. Like, he was a much needed human, I think. But anyway, he's not here anymore. But yeah, I've been watching different people and I'm thinking it's very hard when you've lived nearly all of your life thinking that it's all bogus and BS. But all I can put it down to is the fact that I no longer have an interest in seeking out ghosts or seeking out. It's a bit scary to me because I'm thinking, what am I seeking out? And everybody that I've watched in the paranormal realm, everybody has had bad luck. They infight. There's always something wrong. The only person I can still watch is The Shape because he makes me laugh, and that's it. Yeah, good luck, Julie. You're always in the wars. Why are you worried about Tuesday? Monday, I always love, for operations, I love getting knocked out, so I'm assuming you will be. Oh, there we are. Hi, Big Ben. And Enzo, stop flashing people. Excuse me. Whew. Hey, Cheryl. How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing all right. I'm trying out this StreamYard now lets you do the vertical thing. So yeah, I'm trying it.
I don't know which screen to look at.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the big one like I normally do. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. So yeah, so tons been happening. Here I think it's because of the solar. I'm off topic now. I'm going from the God topic because I don't know anything.
Well, and that's the thing is, I don't know that any of us really know. No matter how well read you are, you may know specific things that have specific titles and labels for certain things, but all the other religions and ideas throughout the centuries are kind of the same thing. It's just different labels, different names for all of these things. I feel there is something bigger than all of us, whether it's guiding us or helping us or throwing bad things our way to see how we react to it and how to get out of it, kind of a thing. That's part of that learning process, I feel, of how you deal with troubles when they roll your way. And sometimes things work out for you where you get that, you have $200 credit and didn't know, that kind of thing.
Well, it was weird. It was weird. And I thought to myself, well, from all stories about him, Jesus, I like to say Jesus, or I don't even know what his proper name is. It starts with Y. His name's not even really Jesus. It's something else. Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, oh, well, but anyway, but everything I read about him, he was a nice fella. Like, he did nice things. He stood on some toes. He made some people cranky. But don't we all? It's just bad timing for him because he was in a time where people were happy to nail you to a cross. But nowadays people do far worse. They just ruin your life completely, which is sometimes it'd probably be better just to be hung on a cross. Like, it's just what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm finding now, because of my attitude towards what happened to me when I was in England, and the fact that I have struggled so much since I got back to find the same, like before, I was finding fascination putting everything together, more so researching the stories around the ghosts. Like, so mine was more, not so much that I believed the ghost stories, but I would research what they say and think, well, maybe that's this person or that person if it is a ghost. But now I think, no, I think if they were a good person, they're gone. Like, they might have been there for a week or two after they died to hang around and check things, but they're gone now. There's no way there's a ghost in a house. No way. Just I don't believe it. And if there's anything in a house, like I say, it's probably a raccoon. Probably a raccoon or a bird in the roof. And then there are times where things happen and you think, well, shit, I don't know what that is, but it ain't a ghost. It's something naughty. That's what I think. But there you go. Well, enjoy your first threesome, Julie. Most of all, have fun getting knocked out. I love that. I'd have an operation once a week. Or I'd probably end up like Michael Jackson, getting the doctor to come and put me to sleep every night. There's something awesome about that feeling. I reckon that's what he got addicted to, not the fact that he needed it.
Yeah.
I reckon he enjoyed it. There's a weird thing to it when you get, everyone's probably had an operation. Some people don't like it, but I love it.
Everyone likes their medicine.
yeah, that's true. And what's Julie telling us?
First.
Already had 2 surgeries this year, and I'm worried about how many times I'll be put under before I'll be put to sleep. Not worried about me, but Sam. She'll be right. You'll be fine. The doctors know what they're doing. But there you go. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Did I show that before? I think I just said thank you. Look at Tanya.
Yes.
She's awesome.
Always.
She's been there with me all along, putting up with my slackness. But never mind. I've already worked on a few things, and this time I think I'll be all right. I've just I was actually watching Tanya, you watch Casper Sight, or you've seen Casper Sight, haven't you? His channel. He was on, it was actually yesterday that he was on. He did a episode, and he was kind of like me. He was talking about the fact that something's weird and something's gotten bad over the last year with nastiness and more evil, really. People, like just evil little people, like nasty people that you would think nothing like that would ever, you're on your phone, you've picked the different, I can see what you're doing, Cheryl. You've got a little mobile on the bottom of your thing, so you must be on you've picked the what do you call it, Enzo? The skinny one.
The vertical placement, yeah.
You're watch. So there's another one, which is the regular one that you normally watch. I don't know why you can't see your chat. So you can't see the chat.
Should be an option somewhere below where our pictures are that allows you to see the chat if you're watching us on your phone or tablet.
Yeah, there has to be, because I can see, because the chat's showing up on the vertical. This is the first time I've used it, so I can't be, but I haven't blocked the chat. And normally with other people, I think their chat shows up on the vertical different to what it shows up on here.
Yeah, it's usually down below somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's another link and you can watch the other way as well. So I don't know. I'm new to it, Cheryl. Play. Yeah, I just every now and then he pops up on my feed, Tanya, and I watch him, and because he's another one that gives me a bit of a giggle. I just every now and then I catch a little, and I don't even know how I do. Oh, it might be through Laura or possibly maybe Facebook. Oh, I think it was Facebook. There was some, I don't know what the drama was. I don't know anything, but Beardo, there was a bit of drama around Beardo. And I'm like, oh, there's always drama. There's always drama. Drama around the Conjuring House. Drama around, this one's got me for copyright. This one doesn't like. I'm like, oh, you're all mental. Not Beardo. I mean, sorry, not Beardo, but, like all these nasty people. And I'm like, yep, you've gone too much. You've messed with you've messed with the wrong things. There's someone playing funny buggers and it ain't no angel. And I'm just thinking there's probably is, because, I did research. And this is very layman's term. So if anybody knows the Bible better than I do, I'm probably going to screw this up. But I did educate myself onto how demons were made. So, or where they came from. So God has made his angels. I think he's made his angels first. So he's got all of his angels. And then he's made the earth. And then the angels, some of them have gotten pissed off. Oh, what'd you do that for? And have said that they want to be fallen angels, basically. So they don't want to, they want to not do what he said. And so therefore they're going to be fallen angels, which are demons. This is very layman's term. So they're demons. And then they choose to be that way and serve Lucifer as opposed to be an angel and serve God. I still haven't worked out why Lucifer ended up down here, only that he had an argument with his dad, God, or his creator, God, not his dad, about, bloody humans, what'd you make them for? So that's all I can work out there.
Why do they get free will and we don't?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then, but technically they did because they chose to become demons, right? So then it says that once they're down here, and then I don't know if this is right either, but you know how Islamist people, Islam, people who believe in the Islam, in the, whatever the name of that book is. What's the name of their book? We've got the Bible, they've got the
Quran.
Oh, whatever. Quran, that's it. That they're not allowed to eat pork. I think Jewish people don't eat pork either, do they? But anyway.
There's a reason for that, and I get it from thousands of years ago when those books were written, is if you don't cook pork properly, you're going to get sick because there are diseases that exist in a pig.
Yeah, but that's the same as chicken. Don't cook chicken properly and you're going to get salmonella. No, but apparently,
and that's true. It's just the demons. Thousands of years ago, when you had to cook something over an open fire, you're just holding the meat over it. If you're not, chicken is generally smaller and it'll cook faster and it'll cook out all of those.
That's not the reason they don't eat pork.
Well, they've created this reason that, the evils of the world were put into pigs.
The demons. Right. Apparently said to either God or Jesus, one of them, and that they wanted to inhabit something. And I think God or Jesus somehow said, pigs. I'm like, pigs are cute. There's nothing demonic about a pig, but apparently a pig was the only animal that they were allowed to inhabit. They weren't supposedly allowed to inhabit us, so to speak. So pigs are the okay. So that's why, they won't eat pork. And I'm like,
but that's just a reason so that people, because it was being undercooked all the time and people were getting sick from it and dying from it. It's not necessarily because there were evil. It's the same thing as,
Yeah, but what my point is, my point is not about the cooking, but my point is that that's why pork's a no-no. So he could have said you can inhabit a chicken, then chickens would be a no-no. I wonder if he said you can inhabit a cow, and that's why the Indian people love their cows. I love cows anyway. But yeah, so it's all very confusing, and I'm just educating myself to it. And I didn't know you could undercook pork, because whenever I cook pork, it's always pink in the middle.
Yeah, you're supposed to let it go a little bit longer than that. But it's modern day, where we've got temperature probes and specific ways of cooking. We know there's certainly, if you've just got like a leg or a shank or something like that, a chunk of meat that's not going to cook evenly from the inside out, kind of a thing. If you're just holding it over a fire or whatever, then it doesn't cook all the bugs out of it. Basically, it doesn't cook all those little things in there that'll kill you if you eat it.
Same as chicken.
Yeah, and it's chicken is easier to cook because it's smaller. It's not as thick as chunks of pork are. So those things would hang out there, and to make sure people didn't do it, they just said, just stop eating pork. And because there's demons in it. There's demons in the pork, so don't eat it. And that way nobody's going to get sick and die because they're trying to enjoy a piece of pork that's undercooked. So.
And this will really annoy people. And maybe I shouldn't say this. because it might annoy people. But because the Quran thing's about 800 years old, I think, the fella, Allah or whatever his name is, the man that's in charge there, Jesus.
Allah is God.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, Muhammad would be like their Jesus.
Oh, okay. So, but it's interesting that a lot of things in that, it's kind of like whoever wrote that got the Bible, and there's a little bit of plagiarism because it's almost the same, but there's changes. And
well, it is written with that. They recognize angels and Jesus and things like that as well in the Quran. So it's not like they're stealing stuff and copyright infringement on a God level. It's they have incorporated that into it as well.
Yeah, but that's what I mean when he wrote it. That's where he got his info from, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So therefore, I'm wondering why Christians eat pork. I know we're not allowed to eat fish on a Friday, supposedly, or is it no?
No,
we're not allowed to eat red meat on a Friday. We've got to eat fish.
Right.
Yeah, something like
that. The Bible says you're not supposed to eat shellfish either. So, but we do enjoy our shrimp. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I think,
it's for the same reason, because if you don't cook it well enough, you're going to get sick.
Yes, and still I think that the Bible is written by men, as is all of anything is written by men. But it's interesting that some, when you delve deeper into it, which it is based on a lot of historical happenings. So there are, over time they've shown that certain stories in the Bible, those things actually have been like, what do you call the little men that go and dig in the ground to find artifacts?
Archaeologists?
Thank you. Archaeological digs and all that sort of thing have proven certain things. Oh, well, that did happen, and it's written about there. But it's still written by men, and it was still it's still a control thing. But
and there's many generations from thousands of years ago to the word we have that was written then to what we have today. The King James version. The King James version has very specific things in it, and there were certain things that were left out. The things that may not have been good for the King James authors, kind of a thing. So it's kind of like a guidebook. Christianity has a top 10 list of things not to do, so things like that. So,
well, that's right. It doesn't say you can't eat a hamburger or a pizza. So there you go. Oh, I think Julie, shellfish is what shellfish apparently. I didn't know that. I thought any fish, but yeah, shellfish, not normal fish that swim in the sea. Anything crustaceans.
Yeah, fish on Fridays, and I don't recall what the logical reason was for that one, but I don't know.
Well, plus crustaceans are hard. You got to get them you got to crack the shells and
right.
It's not really, and to be quite honest, I've been to restaurants where they've served up prawns and things still in their shell, and it's really sickening, and I can't do it. Or even fish, if you kill a fish and sometimes people cook it and it's still got its head, it's like, ugh, yuck. Same as when you go to a cookout and if they've got a pig on the spit, bleh, can't. It's like, no, whatever I eat, I don't want to associate it with a face.
Right. And that's common for a lot of cultures is to not have that. But depending on your culture, like over in Asia, that fish head, that's like the best part. That's the delicacy part, having that fish with the eyes and all that. So
I remember once seeing a documentary about monkeys, and I don't know what country it was now because it was so long ago, but where they catch the monkey and then it's in something and it can't get out, and while it's alive, they off the top of its head, right. And gross.
So, the second Indiana Jones movie where they have the eating scene, and
Monkey brains.
Yeah, that's a India area thing, which a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of
they
these
should
things
go.
go
Yeah,
by. You
that's
use every part of the animal. You use
nah, yeah, but not while it's alive.
yeah, that's a little bit
Gross.
gross, but
That's what they do. They cut it's alive. It's like it's like that scene in what was it? Silence of the Lambs 2 or whatever it was, where he's got I can't remember he's passed away now, the actor. He was in Goodfellas and stuff. But there's a scene where they're eating his brain. He's fried up their brain. I wonder why that is, Julie, that you can't eat a cow but can eat a buffalo. I know. Sorry I brought that up because it's making me feel crook. I'll change the subject quick.
But in the animal world, though, like for birds, when a falcon or whatever captures another bird and kills it and eats it, first thing they go for is the eyes and the brain, because that's your bulk proteins right there that is easily gotten to for a bird, because they have those super thin skeletal structures where it can get ripped up pretty easily. Eyes, brain, breast meat, and maybe a little chewing on the wings to kind of clean their beak a little bit, and then they leave. They leave the carnage laying there.
It almost makes you not want to eat meat anymore. Almost.
Yeah, I get it, but
yeah,
bacon is too delicious, and steak and burgers are also way too good.
And look, if I had to kill it myself to eat it, I'd be eating grass. It's just, I don't think I could.
You say
well,
that.
I suppose it depends how
you were
hungry.
Starving. Yeah, if you were starving, and that's why those other cultures eat those parts that we kind of turn our nose up at, because if you have nothing, you're going to eat every square. You're going to grab a hold of that bone and try and crack it open and suck the marrow out. You're going to try and get every calorie you can if you're starving. If that's all you've got, you're going to eat it.
Imagine if when you went to prison, they said, well, you've broken the law and you're going to die, right? You've got a death sentence. You're going over there. You could, farm prisoners. But you'd have to be careful.
You're from Australia. How can you possibly think like that? That's your entire culture right there, is being a prison planet.
No, yuck. Tanya loves steak. I don't like steak, but do you know what, though? I can't afford steak anymore. I just can't afford it.
I was about to say I like steak, but I don't like paying for it.
I can't afford it. Just one piece about as big as your hand, and so one piece here in Australia about as big as your hand, decent, $15.
Yep.
Who can afford to pay $15, which would be about 10, 12 American, I think. Yeah, you'd be, yeah. So it's, and I'm like, God, I don't even understand.
I know it's super expensive. I eat a ridiculous amount of chicken because it's cheap, and it's a good source of protein and all that stuff. Pork is actually a little cheaper sometimes.
Yeah, pork's the cheapest meat.
I'm not a big. I mean, I like bacon a lot, but like ham and all that, I'm like,
I love
this time of year. This time of year, I'll like if I get invited to somebody's house and they've got like a honey baked ham, or I'll get a couple pieces of that, and then I'm good for the rest of the year for my ham intake. I'm not a big fan of it.
I've started to, because my Chicky Chooks, that's not a bad price, under $10 if it was decent steak. My Chicky Chooks give me lots of eggs. So I made this thing, right? It was eggs. I think I might have told you, I can't remember, eggs and a banana. And I thought, sounds weird. So I got I got the eggs, just eggs and a banana. That's it. I got the eggs and I put 4 eggs in my blender with the banana and blended it all together so it was like a runny paste, like it was thick, and you cook it like pancakes. And that's exactly what it tastes like, banana pancakes. And it's just eggs and a banana. I couldn't believe it.
Okay.
Delicious. You could even make it more delicious if you wanted to put sugar and stuff, syrup on it, but
Yeah.
I didn't do that because I was trying to lose weight. But it was really delicious. It was just 4 eggs and 1 banana in a blender, like a paste, and then cooked it in the fry pan in butter.
Huh.
And then ate it. It was delicious. They fall apart there because there's no flour in them. They're very delicate.
Keep it together. But
it was really yum.
Interesting.
Who'd have thought? Just saying there, cooking with Karen. Oh dear. So yeah. So what else has been happening this week? Let me think. Oh well, my son and the grandbabies are arriving in Queensland next week, or early this week coming. Because he's been posted here with the army, so that'll be good. I'll have family around. What else? We've nearly got Christmas coming up. How many weeks till Christmas?
Well, today's the 6th, so that's 19 days.
No, it's not far. Yes, I cooked it just for myself. I went to I went to the supermarket. I just got a little turkey leg. I cooked up the turkey, and I was because no one else wanted to eat, so I just had the turkey leg, and I got the brie cheese. Oh, have you tried that, Enzo? Brie cheese. You bake it in the oven, and it's all melted, and on top you put cranberries and stuff, and then dip. Anyway, but yeah, it was okay. But I'd still prefer to have Thanksgiving dinner in America.
Yeah.
Maybe one year. This year it's just going to be
a little gravy, a little dressing, mashed potatoes, corn. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, cows are sacred. Yeah, good old cows.
I guess the idea behind cows being sacred in certain cultures is because it provides so many other things while it's alive. Provides milk. You can use its dung for fuel and planting of crops and stuff like that. There's a lot of pluses for keeping the cow around versus killing it outright and eating it. So it's I feel like there could be staged things where you certainly would have a couple of cows you keep alive, and every season one of them got to go, kind of a thing, and that lasts you for a year anyways, if you dice it all up correctly. But then of course you go down into storage. That's the other thing, is something that big, you need to share it amongst a group of people before the meat goes bad. For if we're talking 1,000 years ago when there wasn't refrigeration or anything like that, so it's kind of a big deal. To go as far as to worship it, where they're like interrupting traffic because you can't disturb what they do and their travels and things like that. That's getting a little carried away in my book, but hey, that's their thing, and who are we to judge? That's their deal. So, yep. Buffalo, I feel, fall into that same category. I don't know why buffalo are okay and cows are not.
I don't know either. I'm sure there's a reason, but
living in Kansas, we do have places where you can buy buffalo, bison.
It probably tastes different too. Gamier. It's like game meat's very different.
Not as much as you would think compared to beef. A lot less fat in it, so it ends up being kind of drier versus all that. But you got to, if you know how to cook it properly, it's pretty tasty stuff. It's pretty good. And cute as a Dickens when they're babies, when they're young.
Oh, geez. But yeah, so there you go. So nothing very interesting happening my way. Well, sort of, but nothing much. Look, just been trying to get back into the flow of doing things and not being slack. It's just very hard when mentally I have no, what's the word? no,
Inspiration,
not just.
gumption.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've lost the or what do you call it when you inspiration? That's the word. Inspiration is kind of like whereas everything else before I was okay with, like, and then it's kind of like, oh, and now I'm sort of stuck and I'm like, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so I'm just going to stick to historical things. I'm going to stick to history, old history, and maybe even some mysteries, because I like to watch. I love true crime. Does anyone else like true crime? I love true crime. Yeah, not so much the motivation, Julie. Just I'm motivated to do stuff, but then I sit in front of the computer and that I'm not inspired by anything. There's nothing, there's nothing that's grabbing at me to say, "Oh, do that." But yeah. Well, true crime's a tricky one because so many people do true crime, but that was the one thing I thought I could do, is like the ones that have never been solved, and maybe go from a historical standpoint of what that time frame. Like, you can't Jack the Ripper's been done to the hilt,
Right.
and they and that fellow that I met said, oh, we've proven who it was through DNA. He never answered my question. I was there in front of him and I said, yeah, but your DNA evidence, is this new? Because your old evidence where it proved that he was the killer was questioned. There was an issue with the mathematics behind it. So is this new? Like, you've had to pay for it to be done again to prove the point. And he wouldn't answer my question, which tells me that it's not new. It's the same questionable DNA evidence. And how you can have DNA evidence from the late 1800s on a piece of material that has been handled by God knows how many people, I don't know. Yeah, historic true crime. I might do something like that.
I know several people that started off much like you, where a lot of this was born during all the lockdown times from several years ago, and where a lot of people came up with their own little pop-up shows talking about strange and unusual things, be it a cryptid or a ghost or a UFO or all of the above, or whatever. And they've kind of faded away. A lot of people have kind of faded away from that. One, mostly because there's so much drama that comes into it. Because if you're dealing with unknown subjects where there's no way to definitively define any of it, someone's going to have a different opinion than you, and they're going to badger you because your opinion's different from what their opinion is. And depending on how persuasive they are, more people might think like that person, and blah, blah, blah. So I know a lot of people that started off just like you, have been like they were a ghost person, a cryptid person, a UFO person, and their shows now, if they even still exist, because a lot of people just kind of faded off and disappeared because they got tired of all the hassle and arguing and all that, have gone to true crime, because that's something a lot of people like. And it's something where there's at least like evidential trails where you can certainly say, okay, there's something to that. You have something to point to, versus ghosts and UFOs and cryptids where you're like, well, I've got this blurry picture that could be anything, or I've got, this plaster cast of what might be a footprint out in the woods. And it's like, okay, what is
I
it?
still wish you could find that footage Sonny had of that thing climbing up the side of the mountain. Even Sonny couldn't remember what he showed. I did ask him, guys, when Sonny was still alive. I said, where? And he goes, I don't know. But I know I saw it.
He had it on his show. He showed it a couple of times over the years, so it would mean have to go back and mine through all these shows. But that was a pretty interesting one.
But yeah, I thought, like, at the moment here in Australia, we've got an issue. I don't know if you've heard about it over there in America. A little boy went missing in South Australia off of the farm. So South Australia, where he is, Yunta, I think it's called, Yunta. This is off the top of my head, so forgive me if I'm making mistakes. Yunta, South Australia, flat as a tack land, like flat, no trees, just bleh, like sheep, I think they run on the property. There are mines around, old mines, but 5 kilometres from the house, roughly. But it's just a bit of, it's interesting. They haven't found the little boy, and this is nearly 2 months, I think. Around about the same time Charlie Kirk was killed. I think this little boy went missing. But it's such a mystery because you've got a 4-year-old, 4 or 5-year-old, I think, boy, a little boy, Gus, that's his name. A little Gus, according to the grandmother, was outside playing on a mound of dirt while she was prepping dinner. Come inside, Gus. No Gus. Where's Gus? 3 hours, apparently, the family looked around the property looking for Gus. Where's Gus? 3 hours. Let's look for him. Oh, can't find him. Let's call the police. Already dark. All right. This little boy hasn't been found, and highly suspicious, if you ask me. And I'm pretty sure the police aren't dumb. They're exhausting every search possibility. I reckon it's, yeah, I want to look into that more. Oh, yeah, definitely sus, Tanya. My opinion.
What is it that's sus about it? Yeah.
Well, I've got it. Allegedly. You've got to be careful what you say. But there's, so on the farm, Gus is the son. Okay, so on the farm, you've got the father, who is now a woman, the trans, and the mother, who have had a daughter. So mum and dad have had a daughter. She got married and had Gus. All right. The daughter, don't know where she is. Nobody's really talking about where she is. The father, so the mother of the little boy Gus and the father wasn't living on the property. They were separated, sort of, because he was building a new house in town somewhere, renovating. It's all very odd. But grandma and grandpa who's now grandma, they're the ones that were with Gus when he disappeared. I don't know where grandpa or / grandma were, but it's so confusing. So that the trans grandparent, I don't know where they were when Gus disappeared, but the grandmother was in the kitchen cooking. She says she called for Gus, and he was playing on a mound of dirt, but he disappeared. When you look at the property, there's lots of buildings on the property, and I'm like, they haven't done a very good search of the property. They had cadaver dogs come in. Last lady cadaver, isn't it? Cadaver dogs. Yeah, cadaver dogs come in. But they were searching. They figured the little boy had wandered off, so they had army, everything. How far can a little boy in the dark, because by the time they called him in and he was missing and they spent 3 hours looking for him, it got dark, what would possess a little boy to wander off in the dark? Like, it's just all mental, and the family is not talking to anybody. So normally you would expect that a family member would come out and say, oh, please, we love him and he's disappeared. It took, I can't remember how long, quite a while for him to even provide the press with a photo of the little boy so people could be possibly aware. People in the township said that they hadn't seen the little boy for 6 months before the disappearance. The father wasn't told about the disappearance until I think the police told him. Just something weird. And then the I sound like I'm disrespectful, but I guess I am. I'm just going to be disrespectful. The grandfather, who is now a woman, was on his front porch, and some press showed up. And you can find it if you go to YouTube and put it in, you'll see it. It's just all BS, right? He had a shotgun. I don't think it was a rifle. I think it was a shotgun. Comes along the porch and screams out in a very manly manner, not a trans woman manner, a very What the? You just watch the footage. I think Tanya probably knows.
It's
and she'll-
ma'am, okay?
Oh, comes to the end of the thing, comes to the end of the porch, because in Australia, a lot of our country homes have got a porch that goes right around the house.
You can have a shotgun in Australia? I thought you guys did away with all your guns.
No, we're allowed to have guns. If you live on a farm, yeah. Yeah, if you live on a farm, even if you don't, you can have a shotgun. It's just got to be licensed properly. You're not allowed to have fully automatic weapons and things and pistols. But you can have a shotgun or a rifle if you hunt, go hunting. Everyone, yeah, you can have a gun. Anyway, so he's come to the end of the porch and yelled abuse at the reporter, who said, "I only just got here. Shut your face," and like really intimidating, and he's got the gun, right? And so the reporter reports him, and the police said, "Oh yeah, no, he wasn't really chasing her off with the gun. There'd been a snake on his porch and he was gonna, shoot the snake." I'm like, what a load of shit. Honestly, what a load of shit. Nobody, unless they're a friggin' idiot, snake or no snake, you're not going to shoot the friggin' thing on your front porch. If anything, if someone was going to kill a snake, they'd grab the shovel. Like, you don't go, on your front porch with it. He definitely, or she definitely came with a full intent of brandishing that weapon. Yeah, like, go away, get off the property. I don't know.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think something's happened to the little boy and they're covering it up. Rather than call the police straight away, they have kind of, which I guess you would for the first 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you'd be, oh, gas. Then you'd hit the panic button and think, well, shit, it's about to get dark. Where the hell is he? I don't know. We better call in the coppers. Like, call the police quick, because he could be anywhere. So in my opinion, he's either done something. Maybe he got in trouble. See, we don't know. How do we know that he didn't get in trouble from someone? You naughty little boy, you wait till
I accidentally looked like a snake.
Could have, but you don't know what's going to possess a little kid. Maybe he went to hide somewhere, frightened that he was going to get in trouble. Because I can tell you now, Grandma ain't too friendly looking, and maybe he thinks, oh, I'm in trouble, and he went to hide, and he could be trapped somewhere and died because he couldn't get out. He could be inside an old fridge on the property. He could be anywhere. They haven't looked properly.
Timmy could have fallen down the well. We need Lassie on the job.
Yeah, we need Lassie. So I don't know. It's just very odd. There's no footprints. They weren't able to find any footprints leading off the property. They drained a dam that was on the property. He wasn't in that. They've searched some mines. They've searched. There's nothing there. I reckon the little boy is still close to the house. If there's no foul play involved, if nobody's actually hurt him from the family or a stranger or something, they have looked in the old mines. Yeah. So if nobody in the family has actually hurt him and it's honest, he's absolutely disappeared, they need to search the house more. They need to, in my opinion, if he's been frightened, little kids can do silly things and go to try and hide, Right. Maybe he got yelled at by Nana or Grandpa. Maybe he got frightened. Maybe he hidden.
Is this place like out in the middle of nowhere? There's no neighbors or neighbor kids?
No neighbors. Out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. Huh. Dirt road to get there. It's not like we had another little boy disappeared and there were neighbours in that one. As it turns out, that was a dreadful state of affairs. But they never found his body, but pretty sure they know what happened to him. But in this case, I reckon the little boy could still be on the property somewhere and he's gone to hide because he thought he was in trouble. This is just an assumption. Let's just say there's no foul play. Nobody in the family's hurt him. No one's disappeared with him. But he's thought he was in trouble and he's only a little fella and he's run off to hide somewhere and trapped himself. He's obviously passed because it's been 2 months. He's obviously dead. But where is he dead? Like, I reckon when you look at the property from an aerial view, there's so many buildings on the property. He could be in anything, and he's only tiny, like he's a little fella. So he could have, how many times have you heard of even me? My kids have hidden when they were little, hidden in places you'd think, bloody hell, how'd you fit in there? In cupboards and things like that, because they don't want to go to bed, or, simple things. But here's a little boy with what seems to be a bit of a gruff, not too friendly grandma. Wink, wink. I just have no time for it. I'm sorry. I just don't. Because of that man slash. I just can't. The words. I can't be polite about what. I just can't be polite. I'm sorry, I can't be polite. So he's been a married man. When his dad died and passed the farm down to him, that's when his dad died, and that's when he became a trans person. So he obviously wants to be trans, and that's fine. But there's something about him when you see him with the gun threatening the thing. I'm thinking,
if that's how they're acting like that, I mean, it seems to me, I mean, I know nothing about what other than what you've just told me. That's all I know about it. It seems to me like a child. Because how old was the boy?
5, I think. 5, little.
5.
Time. 4 or 5.
That kind of stuff is confusing and toxic for adults to try and deal with. I would imagine it'd be doubly bad for a child to try and comprehend what's going on with that. And it just seems to me like them running away is kind of a common thing for a lot of folks, for a lot of kids that age, where it's like, okay, when I'm at home, it's toxic and weird. If I'm not at home, everything's kind of cool. So maybe I'll just stay not at home, wherever that may be. They may have like a secret hideout.
But maybe, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, again, I'm making assumptions, but I'm going by what I saw that the trans grandparent. I'm going by how I saw that person acting on the veranda when granted annoyed because the reporter had come onto the property to ask questions. I absolutely understand being annoyed, but it was the way that person acted. It was not a feminine approach by any stretch of the imagination. He was pissed off and showed it, brandished the gun, and the voice, like, even for me, it was a very like it was. And I'm thinking, if I'm a little boy and I'm living there with them and I've been yelled at, and like you're insinuating, possibly there's a hidey spot he goes to if he's worried about something. The poor little bugger has probably run off, thought he was in trouble for something or whatever, run off, hidden, and it got stuck.
Did the boy have any kind of like training, or did he know how to fish?
No, he's baby. No, he's 4 or 5 years old. He's baby. He was playing in a mound of dirt with his dirt trucks or something. He's just a little kid. So no training of any description.
What about like someone outside, like someone family member that may have liberated him in their eyes?
Well, yeah, and that theory came up, but because it's a dirt road that comes into the property and there's only one way into the property, you can't get in there quietly, if you know what I mean. However, it doesn't mean that someone who's very familiar with the property couldn't have got in. I hope and pray that a family member somewhere comes forward and says, yeah, look, we absconded with him. We were too scared to come forward and tell you that we took him. But we took him because, I mean, surely you would have come forward by now and gone to the police and said, look, the reason we took him is because this.
How long has he been missing?
It's almost been 2 months.
Oh, yeah, that's a while.
Yeah. So I don't
he would
know.
have turned up like that if it was family member or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Like either way, it's horrific. And if there's no foul play, if the family is really not to blame in any way, in any stretch of the imagination, even the grandpa, like it would have been very confusing. But then it depends how long he's been like that. He may have been like that, or she might have been like that since Gus was born, in which case Gus would be used to it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just still think that the little boy's wandered off, but not off the property. I think he's on the property somewhere, whether he crawled under something, into something, and probably, 6 to 12 months from now, who knows, years from now, someone's going to move an old fridge or an old box and go, oh my God, there he is. He might have run off thinking, oh, I'm going to get yelled at. Or he might have chased something. I reckon he's right there somewhere hidden. And the reason that the dogs might not have picked up his smell is he might have been in amongst the sheep somewhere, because it's a sheep farm. Anything could have thrown the dogs off the scent.
yeah.
I don't know. So it's bloody sad when you see a picture of the little fella, a little blue-eyed, blonde-haired kitty, poor little thing. So I don't know, but he'd have to be gone. I'm hoping someone did abscond with him that loved him and just, but I don't know who. I just wish the family would talk to the press and give some ideas on, what, I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's going to be like another little fella we had here who disappeared. We just will never find him. And you'll always, it is sad, isn't it, Cheryl? But it's easy for us to sit here and go, well, I think, but you don't know.
Sure.
I mean, you don't know. But I certainly just didn't like the way the trans grandma acted toward. It was scary. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly indicative of maybe there were issues inside the house that would have caused the kid to, so somewhere else is better than staying here, kind of an idea, and got into trouble.
Oh, so see, 5 years old. So you have things like that happen in America too. I guess it happens a lot. It's just sometimes, you don't see it in the news, so to speak. It's something that, some things don't get telecast on the news. We had a stabbing in my neighbourhood the other night.
Who did you stab?
Well, I didn't stab anyone. Coming home, where were we? We went somewhere and we came home and there was a TV cameraman, but I couldn't see the TV car. They must travel inconspicuously now. Remember back in the day, there'd be a big van with the name of the TV station on it. There was.
I've actually considered that as a disguise for my van. But
that's a good idea. But there was a cameraman on the corner as we turned to turn a corner, a few blocks from there, but not far. Could walk there in 10 minutes. Came around the corner. I went, that's interesting. And then I saw some detectives, and you can spot the detectives. And one, there was no police cars. It was, there was, but not marked cars, detective cars. And some detectives, I said to Emily, something disastrous has happened. There's a TV camera, a reporter, and detectives. And sure enough, there was a fellow who was stabbed. He was stabbed walking along the way we were driving. He was stabbed, and then he's gone up around the corner, and that's where he's collapsed. And he's okay. The ambulance and everything got to him, but they found someone lives a couple of streets away from us, and he's been arrested and charged with attempted murder. I'm like, oh my God, only a couple of streets away. And I'm like, ugh. But I lived in the best area you could live in a place called Berwick in Victoria. And I thought, beautiful, I thought it was a really good neighbourhood. But you talk to the police, and I was dating a policeman, and he said, no, he said that what happens is things happen, but they don't get reported on because people don't. The reason, even the stabbing, the only reason that the news people would have known is because somebody has rung it in. So somebody's, oh, guess what? And they've shown up, right? Sometimes the police do it if they need some information. They'll let it out because they need witnesses. And other times it's just a nosy neighbour who calls up a TV station and says, oh, and that's how it gets out. But most things don't get out, so you can live in the best neighbourhood and you still might have someone murdering someone up the road.
As you say, even the best neighborhood, their shenanigans goes on. You just don't know about it. I for a while there, because I still have all the tech, I have all the gear, which I'll repurpose for something else, but that's a whole other project. A local police scanner where I can scan all the local police and sheriff's office and stuff like that.
Oh, you must hear lots of things.
There's almost too much. It's certainly one of those things where it's like, oh boy, this is, I need to move. I need to move to a smaller town. I need to move away from the city. I need to just get away from all of this because it's getting crazy. Because I live in a suburb of Wichita, and it's ugly out there. It's way uglier than you think.
Well, Virginia City is calling. I think you'd like Virginia City. I do.
I can't wait to visit.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. Oh, well, just because I love it doesn't mean everybody else will. But yeah, I was speaking with Taylor the other day. It's a pity she didn't call in, but she's probably, what's today? It's Saturday night, isn't it? She's probably in town. Oh, it's probably late. Actually, I'm amazed. Hang on, what time would it be?
If she's on Mountain Time, it would be like 10, 12 p.m.
No, she's not on Mountain Time. She's on
Pacific Time. Then it'd be an hour later. Or an hour fewer. It'd be
earlier.
9.
Yeah, so she's probably out. She's probably out having dinner somewhere. But yeah, I'm still getting excited for going there on the 4th of July. And I've slowly putting the pennies away, so I've got food money. Food is very important when I'm on holidays. I will definitely come home and struggle with my weight again, and I don't care because I want to eat yummy food. I've said to her when I arrive, we'll go to Walmart and we'll do a big shop and I'll cook while I'm there, so it saves her cooking, and I'll cook up I might even cook her up some meals and pop them in the freezer, so after I've gone she can still eat my cooking. But I definitely want to go to some restaurants though. I've got to go to some of my favorite restaurants there. Absolutely. So
I'm looking forward to doing that as well. That sounds like a lot of fun. I actually got a couple of items in for the van for my Black Friday sales just the other day. So
very good.
Little pieces and parts. There's a lot on the van that I can't do right now because it's just too cold. Because I don't have a garage for the van. It's way too cold at night. Because all the stuff I have that I can do, but I mean that I would like to do, but I can't, involves like gluing and painting and sealant and stuff like that, which once it gets below a certain temperature at night, because you got to have any kind of glue or any sealant or anything like that, it needs like 24 hours to set up correctly.
Yeah, and when it's cold it doesn't dry properly.
Yeah, it doesn't seal properly, it doesn't set up properly. So I'm kind of at a standstill for a lot of things, basically until probably the end of February, beginning of March, before I can actually do any of that stuff. So now I'm just saving my pennies. Picked up a thing. I got my air conditioner heater thing yesterday in the mail. So that's like a big part. So I'll be able to cool. Run all of that off of what I've got. So got my refrigerator freezers type cooler that's all 12 volt, runs straight off the battery and all that. So I can.
Well, at least if you're not going to make a video about it, make it before and after. Before?
Yeah.
After.
It's because for the most part, the van is still pretty much as I got it. There's been a few things that I've done. Excuse me, that I've done, and nothing dramatic change wise. To where you take a picture of it and you wouldn't tell the difference. But I'll take some before and after photos once it gets a little warmer where I can actually do it. and we can like compare and contrast. I'm still debating on a couple of like bed options, which way to set the bed up, kind of a thing, and I'm leaning more towards a small single bed that runs like north south, from front to back, kind of a style, versus a east to west version, as they call it, or left to right kind of thing. So I don't know. It depends on a few things, but I'm still working a lot of that out, and I won't know until I can actually get out there and start putting some things together and seeing how it all comes, how much room I have.
It'll be good, and I'll see it on July 4th. Well,
That's
before
right.
that. Tanya, yes, one of the main things I ate while I was over there for breakfast, if I'd go anywhere for breakfast, I would order biscuits and gravy with a side of bacon, and usually blueberry toast. What was it called? Toast? Blueberry. I can't remember. I had too much. And what is it? I've discovered by looking at the recipe, it is a scone. So in Australia, we make a scone. It's a scone. But it's flat, like they don't let it puff up like we do. So they just cook it.
We're more of a muffin type place over the U.S. where you have like a blueberry muffin, that kind of thing.
Yeah, blueberry. Yeah, but this was toast. I had toast. It was weird. I can't remember. It was toast.
Is it like a raisin bread?
Yeah, but they called it blueberry. So anyway, doesn't matter. It was Virginia City. But yeah, so it's a scone. So if you wanted to make it at home, it's a scone, but it's white gravy. So like if you were making white sauce to put on a cauliflower, Tanya will know what I'm talking about because it's Australian. So it's a white sauce, white gravy, and they normally put in little bits of sausage, like sausage meat. Like again, they have the funny sausages. You have the flat sausage meat. It's different, but it's yum.
Sausage patties is like I prefer a sausage patty versus an actual sausage, like a hot dog or something like that, a sausage link, where what you do is you fry up your sausage patties in the pan, the grease and everything that's left over, you put flour and a little bit of water in that.
And you chop the sausage patty.
Yeah.
You chop the sausage patty. So, Tanya, the sausage patty is like, when you go to McDonald's and get the, oh, God, what's it bloody called? The breakfast thing, and it says a sausage. You can either have a sausage McMuffin or the sausage is the patty, and they just chop that up and fry it. Like Enzo's saying, you fry it. It's yummy. It's yummy. Ooh, Tabasco. French toast, that's what it was, Enzo. It was blueberry French toast. Blueberry French toast with biscuits and gravy, bacon, and I did ask for different things as well. But you look at it, the plate comes out. No wonder I put on weight. It's like way too much. Everything's big in America, so they say.
Tabasco with your biscuits and gravy?
Ooh. You're different, Julie.
No, I've heard of it before. People that like the Tabasco.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, crumbled sausage or chopped sausage or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crumbled. Yeah, you're right, Julie. It's sort of broken up. It's yum anyway. It's yum. It's yum.
For me, there's a restaurant in the United States called Bob Evans, which is like a country style, home style breakfast, and their breakfast is, the big rancher breakfast, which has like everything in it, like 2 fried eggs and home fries, which is basically cubed potatoes with like pepper and onions, almost like a stir fry kind of a thing, in butter and all that stuff in a skillet. Sausage gravy and biscuits, kind of a thing. I always order extra gravy. Basically, I cover everything on the plate with that gravy. I love it. It's my favorite.
I love gravy.
Yep.
I'm the same. But I'd love, there's, even though it's really bad for you, I don't know, American food, I was happy as a pig in shit. I was just like, this is delicious. And Virginia City has some great restaurants. It really does. and proper restaurants, like not like because not every bar in Virginia City has food, but a few of them are restaurants, like, and a bar at night. Red Dog is great. They have great pizza and chicken wings and all sorts, but yeah. Oh, there's always healthy ways to make stuff, Julie, but healthy usually might not take as
not as good.
Well.
Yeah, it doesn't taste
as good. You've got to go for the fattening version, I reckon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to coming there, and looking forward especially to seeing some of my old friends there that have missed me and I've missed them. And yeah, I just hope everything's okay when I get there, that things have settled down a little bit, because it is quite crazy there at the moment with different things happening.
It's crazy everywhere.
But Virginia City is pretty safe. Like,
yeah.
But I'm looking forward to their 4th of July. Apparently it's really awesome. They have the techno people, what do you call it? The firecrackers, they do that. Like, they have special people do that.
But the fireworks stuff, compared to what it used to be, even like a dozen years ago, is the technology that goes into fireworks nowadays, where it used to be, you have this like almost fountain palm tree style explosion that would go off, and that was great.
Yes, Tanya.
Now they have like shaped ones where there's like, when it explodes, it makes like a little heart or a little like Saturn planet kind of a thing, or just like 3D shapes in the sky when they blow up now, where it's like, holy crap, this is we're in the future to see something like that.
Well, I hope to. Well, I don't know. When I get to Virginia City, it'll be before 4th of July. I'm getting there about a week before. But I'm assuming someone's going to have barbecue. There'll be a barbecue and seats to watch the fireworks, and there'll probably be a parade. I mean, it's what is it? It's 250? Yes, 250.
Yes, 250 years celebration this year for the United States. So this will be a big one.
Oh, it'll be a big one. So I'm happy to be there, and it's going to be good, and I'll be able to see. It'll be the right time of the year to see the wild horses. I wonder if some of the ones that I fell in love with are still going to be around. I don't know, because they do travel. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited to get back, and I'm still going to probably do a little bit in some of the older buildings there, but more so from my historical standpoint of things. But I usually do take lots of pictures, Cheryl, and then I don't know, I've got all this footage from England, and I'll be buggered if I know where I put it, because when I was in England I must have downloaded it to something, because it's not where it should be, and I'm spewing because I had
one of your cloud features.
No, it was on the phone, and I think because I was worried about the phone getting full, I transferred it all to a USB. But I can't get the USB. And now I'm like, I'll have it. It'll be somewhere. I've just got to remember where I've put it. But I'll come properly prepared next time. Yeah, it'll be warmer. I'm freezing. Oh, no. Time to get into bed with the dogs. They'll keep you warm. Yep. But, yeah, so, I don't know. Any other interesting things happening this week? No aliens are landing.
No.
Nothing really.
A lot of people have been reacting to the big documentary that dropped a week or two ago, UFO-wise, the Age of Disclosure documentary.
Yeah, I saw Rubio. Rubio got interviewed by, he's on Fox.
Sean Hannity.
Hannity, yeah. And yes, Hannity spoke with Rubio, and Rubio smiled and said, yes, he said, but clever editing can he said, everything that I said, he said it was just how it was edited. So some clever editing made it look like Rubio had more to say on the subject than he really did. But he said
he didn't deny it. He didn't like, no, that UFO stuff's crap. He didn't say that.
No, he didn't deny it with Hannity either. He said, no. He said, but the way they edited it, some clever editing. Which obviously they've probably done. That's what people do. They edit things to make it sound a little bit more catchphrasey. But he said absolutely. He said he's heard and seen things that are very strange. So, yeah, I must watch it. What's it called again, Enzo?
It's called Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure. Is it on the YouTube or is it somewhere else?
Here in the States, it is exclusively on Amazon Prime, where you can rent it and stuff like that.
I've got Amazon Prime, so good. I'll have a look.
Right. So, and I don't know how that translates out to the rest of the world, but it's on different packages, different places. But I didn't realize it was so much of a Lou Elizondo vehicle as it was. So I was a little disappointed there because I am not a fan of Elizondo.
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard about. So I'll watch it and I'll see. I'm sorry about that, Julie. I knew one puppy. I knew one was very, very ill and had gone, but I didn't realize they'd both gone. Oh, never mind. That's the thing. Our puppy dogs never come to stay with us for our whole life. They're gone after 10 years at tops. It's not fair. Our little mates. I was saying to my girls yesterday because I'm spring cleaning every week because Muffin, the Rottweiler, the hair, or the fur. And I said, well, another 6-7 years and she'll be gone because she's a big dog. And I said, but no more dogs. No more dogs. We've got wild birds. We've got birds. The cats will probably outlive me at this point. And I said, just no more dogs because we get them and they're only here for a short time and it's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. But yeah. The dogs died.
Tanya said a mishap in the chat there, it looks like.
What's wrong?
Apparently Tanya's accidentally deleted some stuff from Julie in the chat.
Oh. Huh? Oh, I'm not sure, but Julie's doggy's got... Oh, she blocked her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but Julie's doggies got sick and our new one was particularly sick. I didn't realise the other pup had passed away too. But there you go. Oh, geez, righto. Now poor old Julie's probably thinking you don't love her.
Oh, mad. They hate me. They got rid of me. They blocked me the channel.
Hey, Dee. Yeah. But what time is it where you are now, Dee? Nearly 4:30 because it's 3:30 here. Australia. Queensland doesn't have the daylight savings, but the rest of Australia does. Queenslanders, we like to be different, apparently. But there you go. Nice to see you, Dee. Yeah, I'm thinking of coming down to Daylesford in the January, around about Australia Day, I think. I plan to be there. So I'm going to stay with some, I'd call a family. It's not official family, like blood family, but family. So I'm going to stay just for the weekend. So I'll be in Daylesford, which is notoriously our dairy, like milking dairy part of Victoria, near Ballarat and Bendigo, I guess. It'd be in the middle, wouldn't it, Dee? Daylesford in between Ballarat and Bendigo, roughly. But anyway, it's very pretty, Daylesford. So I'll be down that way around about then. Yeah, Daylesford's really pretty. Yes. His little flashing lights around his neck. Yeah. Enzo's actually thinking of starting his own channel, guys. What do you reckon? Because I'm so unreliable. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. It's
an idea I've been kicking around for a while. Sometime after the beginning of the year, for sure. I'll start up something like a Friday night here in the States, kind of a thing. I would like to get the idea being a little bit of something from our good old friend Sonny with the Paranormal Chop Shop, kind of an idea of just a generic hang. It's not one of these very structured shows at all, where I would like to have some regular people, like on a panel kind of a thing, something like this, where having a ghost person, a cryptid person, a UFO person on the panel, where they could bring in something that's happened over the last week, where we could all sit and discuss it as a panel and talk about other things going on in the world, where the conversation is certainly not limited to those topics, where we could go anywhere, kind of an idea. But I'm still collecting people for the panel for it.
Well, you should talk to some of the people you used to hang out with Sonny, because Enzo had a very good friend, and I adored him as well. Sonny, who you guys would know, the regulars, Tanya, Dee, and Cheryl would probably remember Sonny. He came on my channel a couple of times, but he had his own channel, which was the Paranormal Chop Shop, and it was just the guys hanging out, really talking crap about different things. Sometimes they talked about paranormal stuff, sometimes, but mostly it was just hanging out. Yeah, mostly. So I reckon that'd be good, because Enzo's got such a great, I loved Sonny too. Enzo's got such a good personality. He should have. And we've been saying to him for years.
Yes. And a lot of that was predicated on me getting like the van set up to where I could go out and travel and actually get other, basically stuff to talk about, thing where I would travel to a certain place and it's like, okay, they're reporting this in this area. This is what I found. And then just build a show around it.
You can always call it Enzo the Science Guy, and I can give you your jingle.
That's right.
But Enzo's got an idea for the name, so we'll see what happens. Just check this space, but yeah, we'd all be behind.
It's still in the basically. I'm building a team. Is basically what it boils down to at this stage of. I would prefer it be like some regulars on the show, so that there's certain people you may know or get to know that would be regular faces on there versus just random people every week, but. That's difficult to lock down, because I'm aiming for like a similar time slot like what Sonny had, which was late Friday night kind of a thing. So that's right. I'm building a team. Like it could be robot. He's cleaning. Then yes.
Yeah. Oh, I saw. Half the time you don't believe this. Speaking of robots, I saw someone say that I've seen footage, and I don't know if it's real, but of robots that are being programmed, but they're attacking the programmers. I'm like, I don't think that's real.
I saw that myself. I didn't click on it earlier this week, or I'm not surprised that. I don't think that they would be like attacking people outright, but that's it's certainly one of those. It's like this is how you get your Terminator. This is how you do it.
Yeah, the Terminator movies might be more the future of the world than we think. Hang on, what's Steve saying?
This is how you get a Skynet. Yeah.
Yeah. Rufus. Rest in peace. Oh, poor old Rufus. 16 years old is a pretty good age. What breed was he, Dee? Isn't it sad? Whenever I have, whether it seems to work, but whenever I have a loss of an animal in the household, I even did it with my Popeye, my bird. I showed the other animals that, like, I let them smell and sniff and look to realise, because they recognise the smell of the animal, but then they also understand the death part. So I don't know. Oh, little fox terrier. Yeah, 16's a good age, I guess, for a little foxy.
That's actually very good for that age.
Yeah, yeah. Was it Amazon, was it? Got attacked and mistaken by a robot being a teddy bear.
What?
What? A guy at Amazon got attacked and mistaken by a robot being a teddy bear. I'm going to have to look that up because that's confusing. Do you mean the guy? I don't know. No, I'm talking about, I don't think it was Amazon. It was, I think it was Japanese tech or something. It was the robots had the AI installed into it, the think for yourself type thing. And it was something to do with that. I don't know. I'll have to find it because I didn't watch it. I just thought,
I think I saw the same thing, and it's like, weird. I'm not clicking on it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it's probably not even real. And there's so many videos going around. I even saw a fake Avi Loeb video. And for a minute, I thought it was
there's been a lot of those the last several weeks. Yeah,
I tell you what, and you've got to I know what to look for now because when I think they're actually, I know it's AI, but somehow they're using the actual video of the person, and if you watch, but the mouth, the mouth moves proper, but if you watch, there's a glitch, and it's like a loop. You can pick it. But you've got to look real. But for people who don't know and don't care, or just click on it and think, oh, Avi Loeb said such and such, and you think, yeah, no, he didn't. It made national news. I don't know. A teddy bear. I hadn't heard of anything about a teddy bear.
What the teddy bear?
Let's see. I have a female puggle for a co-drive for the last 10 years, her breed. Yeah, 15 or 16 is pretty good age for a dog and for a little one, and then the bigger ones, anywhere from 8 till 12. 12's ancient. It's not fair, though. Man's best friend and he doesn't live out long enough. It sucks. But anyway, there you go. That's why I want a pet raccoon. I should ask.
About the drunken raccoon this past week?
Yes, I saw that, and there was a picture of it flat near the toilet, and that was real. I thought, but it was real. It wouldn't have taken very much for the poor little raccoon. He's probably just gone and then gone, ooh. It would have been a couple of licks and he was passed out. Did anybody else see that, guys watching? Did you see the raccoon that broke into was it just the bottle shop, like what do you call them?
It was a liquor store.
Liquor store, yeah. He broke in, he knocked a few bottles of whiskey off the shelf, obviously licked it, and then they came in. Have you got it?
Story here. I think we can play. I can share it.
Enzo's onto it. For those of you that didn't see the drunken, well, you don't really see the drunken raccoon. You just see it laying there. Animal Rescue came and took it away anyway, which was good. Oh, you've got it?
Oh, sorry. That was me. I don't show these tips again. Share screen.
Oh, Cheryl saw it. Yeah.
Share audio.
Got it? Here we go, guys. All right.
Let me know if you can hear this.
We have an update on the little guy that went on a big bender yesterday. We told you police found a raccoon past the Virginia liquor store over the weekend. The store has released surveillance video of the furry intruder. Check this out. Looking a little tipsy, tries to climb up shelves, then falls. The store's PR manager says the raccoon got into rum, moonshine, peanut butter whiskey, vodka, and eggnog. Sounds like a crazy night, right? A crazy Christmas party, maybe. Was taken to an animal shelter, and after sobering up, the raccoon was released back into the
wild. Oh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Raccoon.
Hey.
Oh, he would have been, he probably had a hangover, do you reckon?
Oh, yeah. He needed some biscuits and gravy to come out of that hangover.
What's Steve saying? There is a video of a fella asking a robot to shoot him. Robot says, I can't harm you. Programmed not to. The bloke says, let's role play. And the robot shot him. BB gun. He was shocked. Ah, I don't know. You don't ask people to shoot you, dickhead. Yeah, I don't know. What's the world coming to? Maybe one day we'll all be replaced by robots. It's depressing, really.
It really is.
Oh, I must admit, Enzo, I was watching something because here at the moment we've got solar UV warnings, like the radiation is really, really high here at the moment, and we're told not to stay out in the sun for too long. And I'm assuming that's because of the solar flares or the solar storms on the sun. I
Yes.
don't know. Yeah, it is.
There's a couple things happening right now as far as the sun goes. There's coronal holes that appear on the sun, basically where there's very large magnetic areas on the sun where that's where your actual flares shoot out of. Yeah. But opposite those are areas where there's just nothing. And because there's so much magnetism collected in specific areas because of those solar storms on the surface, those areas where there's nothing, it creates like what they call a coronal hole, which there's basically like a wind. There's pressures that push out against that, which push out particles throughout the whole solar system and all that. So right now we're under a large coronal hole where there's a lot of stuff coming out there. If you're in the northern U.S., in the northern part of the southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere is southern part of the southern hemisphere, you're probably going to see a lot more aurora activity. There is also a very large cluster of these magnetic resonance areas where they actually belt out stuff themselves, which are different, different intensities. And the one that's right now that's kind of pointed towards Earth is really big. So it's sort of like akin to someone with a shotgun that just randomly shoots it off on a merry-go-round as it spins around the sun, where it's just random. Right now, we're looking down the barrel right now for a pretty big one that has certainly thrown off a couple of shots already, just as it's rounded its edge and is orbiting the sun, kind of a thing. So
it's very strange. I saw someone else talking about the fact that you've alluded to before, that what's it called again, the thing that happened in the 1800s and it fried everything.
The Carrington event.
Carrington, yeah, they're saying they're amazed it hasn't happened just yet. Like it's a very
that one cluster of magnetism that I was alluding to a second ago is about the same size as what that original Carrington event was, because the Carrington event, 1856. I mean, it was somewhere around there. I may not have the exact year right, but where an astronomer was looking at the sun and he noticed a lot of sunspots, those darker spots, that were very clumped together, and then he noticed a very bright flash from it, which what today we would call a halo effect thing, which basically means the blast is heading at you. If something's shooting off to the side, you're going to see that as it's shooting off to the side. When it's shooting straight at you, it looks like an ever expanding circle. So that's that halo effect. And they noticed that, and then like a day late, less than 24 hours later, what would be the internet of the day in the 1850s, 60s would have been the telegraph system, which there were a lot of places where it caught on fire, where the actual units themselves would explode. The wires would burst into flames, where insulation is just dripping off of these copper wires that were strung between towns over miles. There were stories of because what they also did for the telegraph system back in the day is they would hook them up to railroad lines, because it's if you've got miles of metal basically going end to end between towns, you use that. You just put little pieces of wire, the bonding wire between the metal ties, and you've got your own wiring system between towns. And I want to say it was was either Northern Ireland or Northern Scotland at the time when this was all going on, where there were railroad ties, the wood parts would actually catch on fire because there's just so much energy. Any basically long length of wire is going to act like an antenna for these energies to collect into, and then they've got to discharge somewhere, and they discharge to ground. And in this case, it was
discharge to ground, but otherwise your house could burn down. I mean, really,
exactly. All the wiring that goes in, from wherever your power grid starts in your neighborhood and going to your house is like a big antenna for things like this, where these energies are going to follow that line all the way to your house. I would like to think if there was like a giant one where it's like, okay, this is the big one. This is the one that's going to destroy entire infrastructure parts. You've got usually less than 24 hours. I would imagine, you would see your local leaders of your countries come on and do a live stream kind of a thing or something where they would say, okay, we're shutting down the entire grid. Shut off every circuit breaker in your house, unplug everything.
Jump in your microwave.
Yeah. Because the only thing that's going to protect you, this is like an electromagnetic pulse, which you all heard the stories of that wipes out any, electronics and stuff like that. If you have like a laptop that has all your favorite pictures on it or whatever it is, and you want to protect it, what you need is you need to put it inside of a microwave that's unplugged. Because it's a Faraday cage, which that protects it from these pulses that come in. And your microwave is a Faraday cage. That's how it works, because it's, concentrating those energies on your, microwave burrito on the inside of the microwave, but it's not leaking out all over the place because there's a Faraday cage. The microwave itself is the Faraday cage. So unplug your microwave, you put your laptop and your external hard drive with all your pictures that you love on it or whatever it is, put that in there. And if you really want to, you can wrap it in aluminum foil, make sure it's sitting on the glass, it's insulated from the touching the sides, and it may survive the big one, if the big one would ever come. But
or just buy some kind of, because a walkie-talkie would still work, wouldn't it?
Yes, it should. If you were to put that in the microwave, if you put two of them in the microwave, then those two should be able to work okay with each other. And
your car won't work anymore because the wiring in the car.
There's a lot of discussion on how true that really is. The traditional idea is, it would wipe out everything in your car, your electronic ignition, and the computers involved with that.
But when you think about it, most electrical wiring is grounded, like it's an earth to earth thing. A car's not, sort of. A car's
not really. It's there's nowhere for it to go because it's not really grounded. Because even the rubber tires on your car, if there's a buildup of electrical discharge of static electricity in your car's electrical system, it's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Traditionally, I mean, you can disconnect your I would imagine, if there was like that big blast from the sun coming where we have less than 24 hours to respond, I would expect, your president, your prime minister to come on your local TV. It's like, okay, here's the deal. We're shutting down the grid. You need to disconnect everything. Turn off every circuit breaker in your house, unplug everything from the wall, unplug your battery connections in your car, all of that. And
also too,
okay on the other side in 24 hours.
Because our cars have got rubber wheels.
Rubber tires, sure.
Rubber tires. And we'd probably be okay. I don't know. We'd probably, could we wrap our car in tin foil?
Well, you can always do that. But it's the issue with electromagnetic pulses and things like that, as far as cars go, is the electronic ignition, all the little computers that are designed in your car to do everything now. If you have a modern day car, there's a computer for everything. And if you try and get it fixed, it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to replace it because it's just this little box with wires coming out of it. is that is the stuff that will be most influenced from an electromagnetic pulse. But there's still a lot of questions about how how intrusive is it going to be. A lot of that's going to depend on how strong it is, and how there's a lot of different factors into it.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, you just got to go with the flow, people. If it happens, it happens. It's more humans. I think it's other humans we've got to be more concerned about, other than having no power.
In the after effects, sure, because worst case scenario, every power outlet, or electrical junction place between wherever generates power and distributes power into your neighborhoods and all that stuff.
Down.
All of that stuff is going to get disrupted for best case scenario, probably 6 months to replace like transformers and things like that are going to explode. All of that, and that's being generous. I feel 6 months. Basically, you need. It would be a good idea that you have some kind of scenario, if you're one of these doomsday prepper types, that for that specific scenario, an EMP style thing from the sun, that you have some way of dealing with living off grid, no electricity, for several months. Which being able to heat your home, cook your food, all of having food, supplies of food on hand for months. It can get really crazy on the worst case scenario side. Best case scenario side, you're going to be inconvenienced by not having electricity for a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? The world's a crazy place. We've all got to go one way or the other, so. But it's getting to the point, honestly, where I'm thinking, oh, geez, I don't know. If there really is another place that's really, really good after we leave here, fields of wild, pretty butterflies, like, just take me, would you? I've had enough. But then I think, there's still fun to be had on the planet. It could be a great adventure without electricity. But we'd have no money.
The old days.
Yeah, we'd have no money. We would. There'd be, because we've got no money, then people would have to think, it'd really go backwards and go back to what have we got to trade. I've got flour. I can trade you flour for some eggs. Yeah, so that's what it'll go back to. It really
if you've got chickens, where basically it doesn't matter if there's electricity or not if you have chickens, where they're laying eggs every day and you can let them eat just whatever in the yard. As far as food, you've got something to trade. That's a realistic and very good off-grid style of compensation where you can trade the eggs for something that you need.
Yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to cull anyway, wouldn't it?
It'll be a little disruptive, especially if you live near a city, because cities don't have any kind of support to where you can grow your own food or have your own chickens or anything like that to survive an off-grid style situation if you live in a city.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's more the wiring that's on the ground, like actual wired in coming from. I don't think it. I don't know.
It entirely depends on what the intensity of the pulse is. If it's really strong, everything. Early, back in like the 60s and 70s, early pacemakers were affected by microwave ovens. Where because the energy is coming off of it, even though the microwave is shielded, there's still some energies that leak out. And there were scenarios where people had a pacemaker and just suddenly their heart would stop because someone was microwaving a burrito.
Look, at the end of the day, like I say, I'll be stuffed anyway because I've got to take bloody thyroxine every day to keep alive. So I'd have to go and break into a chemist or a drugstore and pinch all their boxes of thyroxine, because otherwise, I'm going to die anyway. So whatever, que sera. What will be, will be.
It is one of those, you can just do it like for me, I'm getting older now and all that. So where, the big one, if it occurs, 10, 15 years from now, it's like, I'm old. I've lived a long life. I'm okay with just being gone at that stage. If you're younger and you have kids where you need to, try and support them and you certainly want to protect them and all that stuff, you have other things to think about and consider in that kind of scenario. And it's certainly one of those things that it's going to happen sooner rather than later kind of a thing. It will happen.
Well, isn't our pole flip or whatever it's called already happening? The pole.
Yeah, well, the magnetic field of the Earth has gotten much, much weaker. If you recall, like the last year when we had the big solar storm where they saw aurora almost down to the equators, everywhere. That's a sign that your poles are getting weak, because a north-south magnetic pole flip isn't that unusual, and it's not, in the grand scheme of things, not that disruptive. It's if there's another theory out there where the pole, the physical Earth itself flips over.
Let's just not go with that one. Yeah, we're not going. We won't even
get into that.
Go with regular pole shift.
But a regular magnetic pole shift isn't that big of a deal. It will certainly be disruptive for a year or so for specific things. But as far as a daily, day-to-day life kind of a thing, you're going to be relatively unaffected.
Yeah. But anyway, well, that's a lovely cheery note to end the broadcast on. Let's all see if we're back here next
Enjoy
week.
today, because tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Dear. Yeah, no, she'll be right. She'll be right, mate, as we say here in Australia. Isn't that right, Dee and Cheryl? Yeah. Did Tanya disappear, or is she still lurking? She may still be lurking. I want to thank you, Tanya.
Got embarrassed after
accidentally delete Julie.
Yeah.
Block Julie.
Sorry, Julie. I see Julie's back. Thank you very much for coming back.
That'll teach Tanya to clean her keyboard watching the show. Oh gosh, there you go. Hey, Pat Fisher. Oh, you've been listening? Yeah, it's time for me to disappear. It's almost 4 p.m. here. What time is it with you, Enzo?
It is almost midnight.
Midnight. Crikey. There you go. Yes, so I am going to pull my finger out and go in a different direction this week and see how it goes. Still historical, still, interesting, but just no more. I can't be bothered with the paranormal. I really can't. If I find something interesting, but I'm not looking either. I'm still very much interested in aliens and things like that, because there's so much stuff out there that's questionable. Absolutely, the alien thing fascinates me. Paranormal, not so much. I don't think we should be messing with it. I think, yeah. So I'm just going to go, true crime, historical type things, even unsolved ones. I don't know if I'll bother with the fresh ones, because, you can get into trouble if you say the wrong thing. At least you can't get into trouble from someone from friggin' the 1800s or even the 1900s, because they're dead. How dare you say I'm a murderer? But there you go. Yes, Cheryl, nice to see you. And Patricia, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Yeah, that's what I think, Julie. Because I'm always very interested in true crime. I used to be fascinated by serial killers, but for the same reason I think everybody else is, not the crime that they commit, but what drives them to do that sort of thing. Probably just plain evil. They're just evil. Maybe they're possessed. Sometimes you think people are possessed. Like with what they do, they can be completely normal one minute and then cray-cray the next. But it is what it is. Well, Julie, good luck for Tuesday. I'm sure you'll be fine. And Dee, I might bump into you again at some point when I'm down Melbourne way. Cheryl, look after yourself. Tanya, there she is. Tanya, thank you. And that was the other thing. I've been missing you a little bit too, because obviously during the week, you're not around. But and that's it. And so I shall say goodbye to everybody. Enzo, if you want to hang around for a second, and I'll converse with you when we hop off. And thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And love you lots. I'll see you next time. Bye.
I don't